I used to absolutely love driving. Any time of the day, didn't matter what I was driving, where I was driving, just used to enjoy it. And then over time, the roads in the country got terrible. Drivers just seemed to be getting worse. Seems to be loads of inconsiderate and ignorant people on the roads. I mean, there always were, but it just seems like if years ago there was 30% that were ignorant and inconsiderate, or dangerous drivers, it seems now it's like 70%. One thing that really gets my back up is when you're driving along and someone nearly sideswipes you by coming into your lane on a roundabout or on a dual carriageway, wherever, doesn't matter. You beep them to tell them stop coming over because you're about to crash into me, and then they'll beep at you and scream abuse at you. I've had it before. I've been followed for them to give me abuse about beeping at them. I think to myself, but I've just saved your insurance company having to pay out for my car and a personal injury claim, and how did you not notice the arrows on the floor were pointing the other way and you've come over to... It's just ludicrous. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I want to know, with the roads, if anyone else is the same, because now I hate driving. I'd rather walk to wherever I need to get to than drive, because every time I go out on the roads, especially in Warrington, where the roads are terrible, full of idiots on electric scooters, full of potholes, and not a day goes by. Well, I walk nearly every day, and I'd say at least every other day when I'm walking, I'm picking up screws and nails out of the road. I've been walking for 15 minutes now, and in the first 5 minutes I've picked up 3. No, okay, only one of them was really actually dangerous, which was a 2.5-inch nail, but it's really annoying, and I'll tell you for why. In the last 12 months, I've had 3 punctures due to nails. Due to no fault of my own, just nails in the road or on the path, got in my tyre, had to get a new one. But the issue that raises for me is, if I've got a tyre that's 10 months old, 2 tyres that are 10 months old and one of them gets a puncture, I can't replace just the one. I don't know if it's my OCD or what, but I have to replace them both. So I know that both the treads are the same. So each time I get a nail in one tyre, I have to replace them both. Just got my car back on the road after it being off for about 18 months. Got it back on the road in May. Went out on the Saturday to Wales. Lovely day. Went out on the Sunday to the Yorkshire Dales. Yeah, got a puncture on the way home. So then, because I'm out of work and I can't afford to, that had to sit there until I could get the money for a tyre. Finally got the tyre, got it done in, let's say, end of June. So we had the car for summer. Barely been out because we've not had the weather. Driving out, today's Monday. Driving out on Saturday, just gone. Came out of the car park, drove to the end of the road. All the dashboard lit up, puncture. Nail straight through one of my rear tyres. Now those tyres haven't even been on for 12 months. But I'm probably now still going to have to replace both of the rears, and I don't see why. Why are there nails and screws in the road? It's either people dismantling stuff and not being aware of what debris they're leaving, or it's workmen. And either way, it's ignorant, it's rude, there's no need for it. It's, my tyres are 160 quid each. So because someone's been lazy enough not to pick a screw up or a nail up out the road, I've now got to pay, 320 quid for 2 tyres of money I haven't got. So that car's going to sit there now. Probably going to sit there for the next couple of months. Might not even be done before Christmas, because I literally have no money spare to spend on things like that. So me and the missus have 2 cars that we can use. One she uses for work, the other one, she'll use occasionally for work, or I'll use it to tootle around, or we'll use it when we're out at the weekends. We've not been able to. In the last, let's say, 2 years, that car's probably been used a dozen times, and it's been out of action because of the state of the roads. I mean, year before last, January, is it 23? I'm going to say it was January 23, it might have been the year before. I hit a pothole in Delamere Forest in the car that the missus uses for work, and burst both the tyres on the passenger side. So all these things, no fault of my own, and it's always just costing me money. But moving on from that, speaking of the roads, and I'm hoping there's people out there that agree with me, but what is it with all these idiots on electric scooters? Riding at night in black with no lights. Sorry, dressed in black, no lights. You can't see them. They'll just jump off the curb into the road. I've had it so many times where they've just literally cut across my path, and then you shout at them or beep them, and they just give you a load of verbal abuse. It's like, did they not realise how close they came to just being flattened? It's not me that's lost my life. I wasn't going to get injured. My car's going to protect me. But absolutely ridiculous. And then potholes. There's potholes in Warrington that I reported, bloody hell, back in, I think, 2010 and 2012. So, what, 12 and 14 years ago. And the potholes are still there. Absolutely ridiculous. Right, I don't like this bit, so I'll be back with you in a minute. Right, so where was I? Oh yeah, scooters and potholes and nails, oh my. Why do we have to worry about it though? We pay road tax. I mean, look at this road I'm coming down now. This is the problem in Warrington. A lot of the roads haven't been swept in ages. There's loads of thick debris at the sides which cover all sorts of nastiness, like nails and screws. But they don't care. They're not bothered because it don't cost them. You know, but like I said, I've got no money, certainly no spare money. I can't afford to be buying tyres when I don't need them. You know, those tyres that I'm getting punctured, or are getting punctured, realistically, they have, thousands of miles left on them. But because of where the nails are going in, I can't have them repaired, so I just have to have them replaced. And it's really getting me down. Literally, I try not to drive anywhere. The car that was off the road for ages and then got back on, that's supposed to be our, like our weekend car to go out and have fun in. But every time we think about going somewhere, the missus and I, one of us will come up with an excuse about not to go, because every time we go somewhere, something bad happens that ends up costing us money. So, with money we've not got to spare, well, haven't got in general, never mind not to spare. But, there you go. And then, why the police and the government aren't doing anything about all these electric scooters? Well, that's another point actually as well. We're in an energy crisis. Things are more expensive than they've ever been before. Yet everyone's buying the kids electric bikes and electric scooters. We already have enough stuff that needs charging and needs to take power. Why are you getting your kids scooters and bikes with electric motors? Your kids are supposed to burn off their own energy that they've eaten through the food that they've had. Getting them a motor on the scooter or the bike is completely removing the point of having a scooter or a bike when you're a kid. Yes, it's to get around, but it's also to keep you active. What's active about sitting on an electric scooter, standing on an electric scooter, or sitting on an electric bike? Nothing. I know they have the purposes, don't get me wrong. Like if you're a delivery rider taking food and whatnot, obviously, it's going to help tremendously having an electric motor. But kids having them, especially kids when they've got no road sense, I don't see why it's allowed and why they've been allowed to be sold to kids. It makes no sense. But that's my gripe for this morning. I hate the road round here. Driving's giving me PTSD, so I get no enjoyment out of it anymore. And it's nothing but an expensive cost. Fuel's as dear as it's ever been, insurance is as dear as it's ever been, road tax is as dear as it's ever been, yet the roads are in the worst condition that they've ever been. I mean, I've driven for 2 decades, and I think in that time I maybe have had 1 puncture before that, let's say the last 4 years, and in the last 4 years I've had 5 or 6, and that's not to mention the tyres that were punctured going over the pothole. That's 5 or 6 just with nails. There's nails where I park my car in the communal car park at home. I'm always picking up nails and screws where someone's dismantled a unit and just left the debris. But these are people that live there, so should know better. should actually have some care and thought for the people around them. I suppose that's my main gripe, really. I've always known there was a lot of selfish, inconsiderate people out there, but since the pandemic and lockdown, it just made me realise how many there actually are. There seems to be more people that are only concerned with themselves than there are that care about others. But just think about it for a minute. It's much better when you have an interaction with someone when it's pleasant. Obviously, I think we can all agree with that. So why wouldn't the same be true, that rather than being ignorant, rude, self-centered, whatever, why not actually help one another? You know, something I've heard a while ago. We're all heading along the same river, just in different boats. You know, so we should all know what it's like, you know, to be inconvenienced, to be put out, to be a victim of something that you shouldn't be. So why wouldn't you want to stop other people from going through that? But there you go. But anyway, that's just it. I'm out for a morning walk. I was trying to catch the fog, but I missed it because I was too slow. So that's my gripe. I'll let you go for now. Don't know what the next one will be about, but I'm sure I'll think of something. So please like, share and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta.